Welcome to College Football Legends, where we dive deep into the stories of the game's greatest heroes. We all know that coaching plays a vital role in the success of a program. It can be the difference between the glory of hoisting the coveted national championship trophy or the agony of a losing season. Now, even the best coaches find themselves in awkward situations. So today, we're going to continue our countdown of the top 5 awkward, shocking, and downright cringeworthy moments in college football. With the rearrangement of conferences, there is uncertainty and a shift in the status quo in college football. The NIL and the revolving door known as the transfer portal has added to the tremendous pressure that college coaches are under in order to gain the competitive edge. How a coach conducts himself on the field, during interviews, press conferences, and on the recruiting trail directly reflects on the future success or failure of a program. In our previous video, we discussed a coach whose inability to connect with the next generation may have ultimately been his undoing. In today's video, we embark on a situation where a coach is trying entirely too hard to fit into his new environment and has potentially drawn negative attention to his program. Louisiana State University football is one of the premier programs in the Southeastern Conference. Their head coach Brian Kelly is faced with the daunting task of taking on some of the top teams in the nation, such as the University of Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and Oklahoma, and securing a position in the inaugural 12-team playoff in their hunt for a national championship. Before Brian Kelly took on this role at LSU, he came from humble beginnings, starting his career playing club football at Assumption College in Massachusetts. Club teams are considered a step below the Division III level and is considered more recreational than actually competitive. But this is where Coach Kelly developed his love for the game. After years of working as an assistant at Grand Valley State University, he took over the head coaching role. Over an 11-year span as the head coach at Grand Valley State, he led the Lakers to multiple playoff appearances and 2 Division II national championships during the 2003 and 2004 season. Moving on to coaching positions at mid-major programs such as Central Michigan and the University of Cincinnati, Coach Kelly developed a reputation for transforming struggling programs into contenders. Most notably in 2009, leading the Cincinnati Bearcats to a historic 12-win season and nearly gaining an invitation to the national title game. This is a team that was led by All-American wide receiver Marty Gilliard, along with All-Pro center and future Hall of Famer Jason Kelce of the Philadelphia Eagles, and his brother All-Pro tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs and Taylor Swift's boyfriend Travis Kelce. In a shocking announcement, Brian Kelly opted to not coach the Cincinnati Bearcats in the Sugar Bowl against the Florida Gators and elected to take the head coaching job at Notre Dame. After an improbable 12-win season leading up to this game, the team was obviously devastated by this news and played uninspired, suffering a 24-51 crushing defeat at the hands of the Florida Gators. Upon taking the role at Notre Dame, the Irish were in the midst of a rebuilding phase after the unsuccessful tenure of Charlie Weis. This would be Brian Kelly's first head coaching job at a premier program, and he made the most of his opportunity. In only his second season with the Fighting Irish, he, along with All-American and Heisman finalist Manti Te'o, along with star quarterback Everett Golston, led their team to an undefeated season and a national championship appearance. As many of you know, their national championship appearance was a complete disaster, losing 42-14 at the hands of the Alabama Crimson Tide. In addition, this led to one of the biggest scandals involving star linebacker Manti Te'o. Thankfully, due to the investigative journalism from YouTubers such as Flimno Raps and Netflix documentaries, cleared the name of the former Notre Dame Irish star. And if you'd like to know the details of that particular scandal, please press that like button and leave a comment below. Although Brian Kelly led the Fighting Irish to the national title game and 2 playoff appearances, to put it lightly, they were punished at the hands of Alabama and Clemson. It became apparent that Notre Dame may not be able to compete with the elite programs in college football. LSU's coaching vacancy after the dismissal of Ed Orgeron became the opportunity of what Brian Kelly was looking for. A program with a rich history, along with a competitive recruiting base and the financial resources to compete with the blue bloods of college football. As a guy with New England roots, he fit in well with the culture at the University of Cincinnati and Notre Dame, which is located in the Midwest. He carried an air of confidence during his tenure at those programs. Coach Kelly was about to embark on a journey, a culture, an almost religious undertaking, which is that of SEC football. Generally, when you're going into a new environment, the best course of action is to be yourself. And man, oh man, Coach Brian Kelly did the exact opposite of that. Coach Kelly's first interaction with the Bayou Bengal fan base is a prime example of how trying to fit in too hard can have the opposite effect.
It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family, and we are so excited to be in the great state of Louisiana.
The decision that came about after spending time with my family.
I'm here with my family, and
time with my family.
My family.
Spending time with my family.
My family.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty hard for me to watch for the first time as well. From someone that's originally from Alabama, I'm well versed in the Southern dialect, and that was not it. The Southern accent varies depending on region. For example, someone that lives in New Orleans may have a completely different accent from the person that lives in South Carolina or Georgia. And Brian Kelly's fake Southern drawl was not received well by the fan base, and it made it very awkward for everyone in attendance. In my personal opinion, simply introducing himself and hyping up the fans for the upcoming season would have gone over much smoother than what we just witnessed. After the social media backlash, the memes, and the complete roasting from sports media outlets, you would think that he would have learned his lesson. Brian Kelly did the exact opposite of that. To be fair, SEC coaches are under a tremendous amount of pressure, and they're in a constant battle for the top recruits in the nation, and they use every resource at their disposal in order to gain an edge. As we all know, recruits love the photo shoots on their official campus visits. Former Crimson Tide coach Nick Saban, for example, will take a simple photo with the recruit and his family, but nothing too elaborate. Coach Brian Kelly, on the other hand, decided to take this to another level, and this was the result. Yeah, that was kind of hard to watch. Another failed attempt in trying to fit in. It sort of gave me these kind of vibes.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Ironically, that recruit decommitted from LSU and signed a letter of intent to play with the University of Alabama, and at the making of this video is currently on the roster. In addition to some of his antics, his post-game interviews have drawn backlash as well. And of course, due to YouTube community guidelines, I will not touch this one with a 10-foot pole. To be fair, college coaches from the Power 5 conferences are typically held with a presidential head of state type of reverence. Although his comments and actions have been awkward, this is a man that genuinely doesn't take himself too seriously.
Stress me when I can't sleep, bang on when I see you. Play with me, you can't sleep. We got into the seashore.
Yes, he could benefit from some dance lessons and possibly finding some rhythm in the process. Hopefully as he gets more comfortable at LSU, his antics will be perceived as less awkward and more endearing. And over time, that will actually translate into some on-field success for the LSU faithful. As we conclude this video, rate Coach Brian Kelly's dancing skills on a scale of 1 to 10 in the comments section below. And if you'd like to see instances where coaches completely flew off the handle, please click these links here.